Welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, this episode works on its own, but it also brings together many of the ideas we've explored throughout the season. If you've not caught up on the past episodes, feel free to have a run through the older episodes, starting with season 1, where we looked at a much higher level. Today's episode is the season finale, and it's called Staying Quietly Secure in a Changing World. Welcome back to Quietly Secure, the podcast about digital privacy, personal security, and staying informed without getting overwhelmed. Over this season, we've talked about a lot of subjects: digital identity, passwords and passkeys, boundaries with other people, security fatigue, and how the news and outrage can distort the way risk feels. And if there's one theme running through all of this, it's this: technology keeps changing. New tools appear, new headlines arrive, new warnings demand attention. It can sometimes feel like staying safe means constantly catching up. But today, as we close the season, I want to offer something quieter. As we've stressed many times, the idea is that you don't need to chase every change to remain secure. Every few years, technology seems to shift dramatically. Smartphones replace computers as our primary devices. Cloud services replace local storage. Artificial intelligence began appearing in everyday tools. But it's not new. A lot of it's been about for years. It's just a new spin to drive change. But each shift brings about new questions. Am I doing this right? Is this safe? Am I already behind? But underneath these changes, something important stays remarkably stable. Most digital risk still comes from familiar places. Stolen accounts, scams built on urgency, loss of access to important services. The surface evolves, the fundamentals move slowly. Understanding that reduces pressure. You're not starting over every time technology changes. Many people approach security reactively. A new threat appears and they feel they must immediately respond. But sustainable security works differently. It adapts gradually. When passwords become difficult to manage, password managers emerged. When phishing increased, multi-factor authentication became common, and now passkeys are reducing reliance on memory altogether. Progress in security often looks like simplification, not escalation. The safest approach isn't constant vigilance. It's allowing good defaults and better systems to carry more of the load over time. You don't need to anticipate every future threat. You only need to remain adaptable. Across all the topics we've covered this season, a few principles keep appearing. Protect your core accounts. Maintain recovery options. Pause when something feels urgent. Separate the important from disposable. Build habits that work even when you're tired. Notice how none of these depend on specific technologies. They worked 10 years ago. They work today. They will likely work for years to come. Tools change. Principles endure. And once you understand the principles, change becomes much less intimidating. The goal of this podcast has never been to make you think about security more. It's the opposite. Good security should slowly disappear from daily awareness. Updates happen automatically. Devices recognise you. Habits guide decision without effort. When security works well, it becomes quiet infrastructure. like seat belts or smoke alarms. They're present, reliable, and mostly unnoticed. You don't need to live in a constant state of preparedness. You need systems that continue working even when your attention is elsewhere. Technology will continue to evolve. There will always be new terms, new risks, and new debates. But confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from recognizing patterns. Most threats rely on pressure. Most safety comes from clarity. And most people are already doing more right than they realize. You don't need perfection. You don't need fear. You just need a steady relationship with the tools that you use every day. As we close this season, I want to leave you with something simple. Security isn't a destination you reach. It's a posture, a calm awareness, a few reliable habits, and the understanding that change doesn't require panic. If you've listened through this season, you've already done something meaningful. Hopefully, you've slowed down, and you've learned how risks actually work, and you made digital life feel a little less heavy. Thank you for spending the time here. Until next time, stay curious, stay calm, and stay quietly secure.